Thank you, Dr. Derrick. Good evening, greetings, everyone,
Recording in
and welcome.
progress.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, greetings to each and every one of us. We welcome you to today's webinar. And today is a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday afternoon, evening. Deep dive with a lovely tune by one of our honorable, honest, and humble global ambassador in the name of Queen Lerato Shadare, and she sings for us in It to Win It. And Dr. Derrick has taken so much time to recreate not just the melody, but add nonverbal communication cues to it to let us know where we are and where we are trending to in this journey. So without further ado, I will call on Dr. Derrick to play In It to Win It by Queen Lerato Shadare. Enjoy.
Shining bright.
next up is on passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Queen Lerato Shadari. We appreciate you and that lovely voice. We cannot beat nature. God gave it to us, and we adore you, and we appreciate the fact that you offer to share it, and we do not take it for granted because it's not everyone who has that voice, who has the courage and the strength to be able to share with the universe, but you did. We appreciate you, Queen Lerato Shadari. And we're now moving to the mindset, which is what has kept us going for those who joined on Passive in 2018 and those who joined lately in 2022 when at that time they stopped bringing in new founders. We appreciate each and every one of you. So the mindset is for those who joined at first, those who joined in 2022 or earlier and are still with us. We appreciate you, your tenacity, and we promise you the mindset is one thing that has kept us going and will continue to keep us going. So believe me, we have been doing it and relentlessly. So let's see what's happening with the mindset for today because we do it at every single webinar when we come together. And we have a wonderful person who is going to share the mindset with us today. And she is none other than Queen Dr. T. Ford. She is an international inspirational speaker. She is a life coach empowerment trainer. She is a talk show host. She is a published author of 4 books. She is an editor and chief of Discovering You magazine. And she is one of us on this platform and several other platforms that she's an international speaker at. And please, let's welcome her because she's going to talk to us today about the keys to experiencing your best life now. Let's welcome her with open arms and have your pens and pencils ready. If you have any questions for her as she's speaking, you can make notes and ask her at the end of her presentation. So, Dr. T, we appreciate you, we welcome you, and the microphone is yours. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
and over to you. You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much, Queen Debbie. I really do appreciate you. Hey, we've made history. I think this is the smallest audience I've ever spoken to in my entire life. But that's okay. I have my biggest fans with me. Dr. Derrick, Antoinette, Queen Debbie, and of course myself. So we're going to go ahead and proceed like we have a room full. So I appreciate that. Dr. Derrick, I appreciate you
Amen.
giving me the opportunity to speak, and I really hope that this message will be a blessing. I was so impressed and so blessed by Queen Tony's message last week. Finding your purpose in life. I decided I just wanted to piggyback off of that, if that's okay with everyone. I wanted to just do. I wanted to piggyback off of that message, and that's why I'm going to speak to you today about it's your time. It's your time to find your purpose in life. And we want to look at the keys to living our best life now. That's how we engulf truly experiencing and pursuing our purpose when we understand that we are entitled to live our best life now. So it's your time. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, no matter what people are saying, whatever's going on around you, it's your time. It's time to travel down a new road. But we must realize that we have not been where we are going. Okay? We have not been where we're going. And we don't want to revisit where we've been. I'm pretty sure you all can say amen to that. Many of us, we do not want to revisit where we've been because some of the places we've been was not a pleasant place. It's a time to go on a journey of new beginnings, a journey of hope, and a journey full of joy. That's right, full of joy. So I want you to sit back, the four of us, and let's just enjoy this message. Let it touch your heart, let it transform your mind, and let's have hope as we go forward, as we experience our best life now. But in order to do that, we want to do something that we want to start doing right this very moment, and that's to affirm that it's your time. You need to affirm it's your time. And how do we go about doing that? This is how you do that when you want to affirm it's your time. It's time to start taking care of you and looking out for your interests. Oftentimes we find ourselves being concerned about other people. There's nothing wrong with that. God wants us to be concerned about other people. But even he tells us that for after we love him with all our hearts and all our souls, all our minds, the second commandment is to love our neighbor as we what? Love ourselves. We can't love and appreciate anybody else and take care of anybody else until we do it with ourselves first. And we can start subtracting the activities from our lives that do not bring value or well-being. This is how you start affirming yourself. And the last one is you want to eliminate the people that are toxic and living a self-destructive life. So the first thing again, number one, you need to affirm that it's your time. And how do you do that? How do you do that? You start looking out for number one. That's the first law of nature is to take care of you. Start subtracting those things out of your life that don't have any value and get rid of the toxicity in your life. Number one, affirm that it's your time. Number two, understand that your purpose started in the womb. God's word tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Nobody is a oops. I didn't see that coming. I don't care who your parents are or were. I don't care about your beginning when you came into the world. You may have had, it may have been a situation where it wasn't very pleasant. It doesn't matter because when you were in your mother's womb, God had already predestined your life. He gave you the abilities, the talents, and the gifts to do exactly what he has ordained and mandated for you to do. The roadmap to your life has already been written. Your gifts, abilities, and talents, again, those things were already in the womb as you were forming. Some of you have had it when you came out of the womb. Some people, children, 4 and 5 years old, picked up a pen and a piece of paper or a pencil and paper, and they knew how to draw with no instruction. They just automatically had a desire to draw. There are children who are 3 and 4 years old where they could just belt out a song. They just had a beautiful voice. There's some people that came into the world having a heart and a mindset to do science. God put that there. They didn't do that. God did that because he was already equipping them to do what he called them to do. So understand that your purpose started in the womb. It doesn't matter who your parents are or who they were. Your destiny was already predestined. It's for us to walk it out and be able to discover that. So number two, understand that your purpose started in the womb. Thirdly, it's so important who we surround ourselves with. So you want to form good company. And it's never too late to form good company. Some of us may have people in our lives, again, about that who are toxic, who don't want anything in life. They're just there. And maybe some family members. We cannot control who we have in our family. My mother used to always tell me as a little girl, she said, baby, she said, you cannot pick your family members, but thank God you can pick your friends. Always remember that. You cannot choose who your parents are, who your sisters and brothers are, cousins, aunties, grandparents. You had no choice in that. You had nothing to do with that. But you do have a choice in who you call friends, who you associate with, who you fellowship with, who you allow in your inner circle. And it's very, very important. If you're going to walk in your destiny, if you're going to experience your best life now, it is so important that you surround yourself with people who are purpose driven, to surround yourself with people who are part of your purpose. And when you do that, you'll begin to experience your best life now. So again, Number three, form good company. It's never too late to do that. It's never too late to clean house. But if you want to really experience your best life, learn and appreciate forming good company. That's number three. I'm not going to be before you long. Number four, pursue your purpose with no apologies. Why would you apologize for what God called you to do? I don't care how far-fetched it may appear. If God ordained it, if God said it, then that means it's for you to do it. Understand that your purpose is not validated by man. It's validated by God. When you were born, man is going to respond. When you start walking in your purpose, man is going to respond to your calling. And when you don't need any explanation, there's no explanation needed. So when you are called and you're walking in your calling, truly walking in your calling, God will allow man to respond to it. And you need to give them no explanation. Understand that purpose-driven life is not accidental. Let me say that again. A purpose-driven life is not accidental. It's intentional. It's intentional. There's a man by the name of Max Lucado. This is what he said. This is a quote, a famous quote. He said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back on the crowd. That is so profound. Let me read that again. A man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back on the crowd. Think about that. If you want to lead, that means you got to turn your back on the naysayers, the people who are critical, the people who are too opinionated about what you're trying to do with your life. Turn your back on the crowd if you're going to lead and be the woman and man that God has called you to do or to be. Number five, understand that happiness and fulfillment begins between your ears. Understand that happiness and fulfillment begins between your ears. Your mind is the drawing room for your future experiences. So ask yourself, what do you want to experience? What do you want to draw into your life? Everybody has heard about the law of attraction. You're going, what a man thinketh, so he is. You're going to draw those things. Your mouth holds power, what you think. All those things are important. Remember that your perception of yourself is your reality. Your perception of yourself is your own reality. And also work on developing a growth mindset. Work on developing a growth mindset. Number five, understand that happiness and fulfillment begins between your ears, your mind, your greatest battle, the battle of the mind. Change your thinking, change your destiny. Change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your experiences. So number five, understand that happiness and fulfillment begins between your ears. Number six, we're almost finished. Number six, put your oxygen mask on first. Save yourself first. Self-preservation is what? The first law of nature. Look out for you. It's not being selfish. That's not being arrogant. That's not being self-centered. Oftentimes, especially women, we have a tendency to want to rescue everybody. We want to put our hands in every little thing. We want to be the ones that save the day. And then we neglect ourselves. We find ourselves, being sickly. We find ourselves being overwhelmed and depressed and oppressed, feeling oppressed because we're so busy rescuing everybody else. We're the go-to person. But there's time out for that all the time. We've got to learn to discern when we are supposed to get involved. Save yourself first before you try to rescue someone else. When you're on a plane, what do they tell you? If anything happens, make sure that your oxygen mask is on first. Once you're secure, then you can help somebody else. Self-love, self-respect, self-acceptance should take precedence before anything else. Let me say that one again. Self-love, self-respect, self-acceptance should take precedence before anything else. And when you learn to do that, learn to put on your oxygen mask first, then you will develop and understand the keys and the steps to living your best life now. Number 7, know that the book that is written, you are the hero in your story. There's a book that was written. The God already wrote it from the beginning to the end. Your birth date, that hyphen in the middle, and your death date. That's your book. And in your book, guess what? Nobody else is the hero but you. You're the hero. In the end, you win. Begin to celebrate your wins and success. Begin to do that. There's nothing wrong with patting yourself on the back and say, I did that. Give yourself the accolade. You should be your greatest fan. Look forward to the next chapter in your life. Think about all the things that you want to do. Think about your bucket list. Think about the things that you've written down, your dream board, those things like that. Think about those things that you want to really achieve. It's nothing wrong with trying to live your best life. It's nothing wrong with being successful. It doesn't matter if people are jealous or if they're envious or they're critical of what you're trying to do. As long as it's not immoral, unethical, or illegal and ungodly, go for it. Go for it. And know that you are the hero in the book that God has written for you. And also write the ending of the beginning of your story. Write the ending in the beginning of your story. And in the beginning, you win. And you're writing your book, hey, I win. That should be the very first line on your book. I win. And then you can proceed with the rest of your book. Right? Write the ending in the beginning of your story. And you should be writing, I win. I win. And not in the present, not in the future, just right now. I win. I win. So know that there is a book written about your life, and you are the hero in your story. And last but not least, and if Queen Dr. Benny were here, she would be so elated. But I know you all have heard me say it before. I've said it before. Make God the captain of your ship, because he knows the way of the path that you are to journey. Jeremiah 29:11 says it so well. For I know the plans. I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. When you were in your mother's womb, I pronounced your destiny. I gave you all the tools that you needed to succeed, to be happy, to be fulfilled. Okay, plans to prosper you. God cares about every area of your life, your finances, your family life, your health, your soulish realm. He wants you to be content. He doesn't want you to be all stressed out. He wants you to prosper. He wants you to prosper. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. God is not throwing darts at you, trying to give you a bad time, trying to make your day hard. That's not God. But he always tells you that you are going to have trials and tribulations. That's a promise. There's no way of getting around that. But what does he tell you? I am going to deliver you out of all of it. Just keep taking one step at a time. And don't give up. This is for Dr. T too. Because sometimes I feel so discouraged, I just want to give up. I'm just going to be very transparent with you. And I'm pretty sure we all have been there sometime in our lives. But don't give up. Because know that God's got you. The Word of God tells us to cast every single care upon Him because He cares. He said He'll perfect those areas that concerns us. And He'll never leave us or forsake us because God knows our plans. God knows the end of the thing. He knows your beginning. He knows the middle. And He's planned the end. And what did He say at the end? He's going to give you an expected end. What's that end? You win. You win. Even in death. Let me just say this too. Even in death, you win. To be absent from this body. If you're serving God, if you truly believe there's a living God that sits up high and looks low, if you truly believe that his son, Jesus Christ, died for you, and he sits on the right hand side of his Father, and that you're redeemed by his going to the cross, if you truly believe that, in the end, you win. Paul said to be absent from the body is to be present with God. So even in death, you win. So number 8, make God the captain of your ship because he knows the ways of the path that you are going to journey. So I want to do a recap right now of everything I just shared with you. If you truly want to live your best life now and understand it's your time to walk in your purpose. It's your time to walk in your destiny. You have a mandate to fulfill. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter where you are. What matters is where you are going and how you see yourself. Begin to see yourself as a winner. And I know you all do. Everybody on this platform, I know you all do that. But sometimes we lose sight of that because life happens. Like Dr. Derrick always says, 20% of life is what happens to you. But the 80% is how you respond and how you react. Let's start responding and reacting and knowing that we're not alone, that we have the best teammate. We have a living God that is for us. So, number one, begin to affirm that it's your time. Secondly, understand that your purpose started in the womb. Thirdly, form good company. Number four, pursue your purpose with no apologies. Number five, understand that happiness and fulfillment begins between your ears. Number six, put your oxygen mask on first. Number seven, know that there's a book written about your life and you're the hero in it. And number eight, last but not least, make God the captain of your ship. He knows the way of the path that you are to journey. And when you do these eight things, practice these eight keys, you're well on your way to experiencing your best life now because it's your time. It's your time. It's your time. And don't ever forget that. No matter how hard things get, remember this, what I just said. It's your time. It's time for you to start walking in your purpose, like Queen Tony said last week. It's time for you to start doing that. But do it now. Let this begin. Let this be the beginning of the rest of your life. Let this be the beginning of the rest of your life. In Jesus' name. Yes, I said that. In Jesus' name. I'm Dr.
Amen.
T. I'm Dr. T. And thank you so much for allowing me to have this platform and allowing me to share. God bless.
Amen, Dr. T. You said it, girl. Wow. God is the captain of this ship. So
Thank you.
much appreciated. And he is the captain of each and every one of us ship.
He should be. He
God
should be.
bless them.
He should
Yep,
be.
absolutely. Whether it is a ship, whether it is an ox cat, a vehicle, or whatever, he is the pilot of that aircraft.
That's
He's
right.
the pilot of the helicopter. He's the
That's right.
driver of that automobile that we step behind. He is always a captain of every device that we
Yes.
put our fingers on.
Yes, he
So
is.
thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. And I hope this resonates with everyone who will listen in the future and listening live on YouTube, since not everybody is aboard. Thank you, Dr. T. We very much appreciate you. I know Queen Tony is in the house and she probably has a comment to make. But before she comes up, I want to say welcome to King Carlton. We appreciate having you. So we have Queen Tony, Queen Dr. T, myself, Dr. Derrick, and it's half and half now. Bishop just joined, and King Carlton, so half and half. Isn't that awesome?
Hmm.
So I know Queen Tony always has a comment to make, so I'm going to pass it over to him before we move forward. Over to you, Queen Tony, please.
Okay, thank you, Queen Debbie and Queen Dr. T. As always, that was a phenomenal message. And I already know a few things that I need to start doing. And I know that I'm notorious for the one to, instead of putting on my own oxygen mask, I'll give it to somebody else that's suffering and I end up suffocating. But
Okay. I think we're all like
so
that
I
too.
know there's a few things on this list that I need to put into action and always affirming that this is my time, and in some of our conversations, I'll tell Dr. T because sometimes, God can show us what he has in store for us, but it's the time of waiting going through the wilderness in order to be prepared for it, that kind of gives us heartache. And there have been times when I've told Dr. T, I think God forgot about me or something because it's been so long.
Yes.
And God hasn't. He hasn't. And just having faith and knowing that God is, like she said, put him in the captain's chair, and because he knows the road better than we would. And I thank God for that message, Dr. T, because I know that there's a certain areas that I need to execute and put into my life. And I love when a lot of times they're identified through our presenters, the work that we still need to go forth and do and surrender to God. So I appreciate you, and I look forward to many more messages to come to help, at least help me along the way in my path and fulfilling my purpose. So thank you. I appreciate you.
I just wanted to say this to everyone. You know, uh, we're commanded to not to be anxious for anything. But with prayer, supplication, and this is the most important thing I think we kind of forget, and thanksgiving. Prayer, supplication. That means that's an earnest prayer. That means like a yielding to just yield it. Okay, I'm praying about this, Lord. I'm truly praying about this, but now I have to supplicate. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna yield my will to your will. And then he says to thank me. Begin to thank me as though it's already done. That's what he's saying. Pray supplication. Then make your request unto him. Make your request unto him because he's the only one. My sister used to always say, only God can fix it. I mean, sometimes I think we rely on our own gifts and abilities, all those giftings and abilities that God has given us from birth. I think sometimes we rely on that too much and we forget who gave us those abilities, who gave us those talents, who put that passion in us. Why is there a little boy 5 years old and all he can dream about is going to the moon? That's all he can dream about. He sees something on TV on the news and the rocket going to the moon, and he just knows that's what he wants to do. It's something that just grabs him. Why is there a little girl that when she's playing with her dolls, she's playing doctor? She has her little stethoscope on, her little cap on, her little white coat, and she's playing doctor with her toys. And then she grows up to be one of the greatest doctors, in the United States. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. God does these things. I think we take so much for granted and we rely too much on our own abilities. No, God gave us these abilities. And everything we do, we need to understand that we can't even walk or breathe without Him. If He doesn't wake us up in the morning, you don't wake up. Those of us who think that the alarm clock woke us up, you're mistaken. The alarm clock can go off and you don't wake up. There are many people who will not go to sleep in their beds tonight, and there are many people who won't wake up. I pray that that's none of us. I pray that we'll all get a chance to go to bed in our own beds tonight. We won't be in the morgue. I pray that we'll all wake up and have another time to praise Him. That's what it's all about. My mother used to always tell me, and I've said this to you all before, sometimes we could be so ungrateful. There was a man who didn't have any shoes until he met a man who didn't have any feet. That's why we need to start being grateful because all of us have so much to be grateful for. It doesn't matter if we're not a Donald Trump or Elon Musk. I'd rather be Tunishai and Ford and walk in that in which God called me to be and be the best version of myself. I'm not trying to be anybody else. And I'm pretty sure all of you feel the same way. So Antoinette, like no matter what you're going through, no matter what it is, remember that it's all about His timing. And He's not forgotten about you. You're on His radar. He's on your radar because He promised you, I'm never going to leave you or forsake you. I'm never going to leave you or forsake you because you're my girl. You're the apple of my eye. And I've got you. And when He begins to bless you all, it's going to be such a big explosion, you won't even know what to do with it. That's the kind of God we serve. He said He's going to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can ever think or imagine because He is the great El Shaddai, the God that is more than enough for every situation that we're going through. And I just want to share that with you. Thank you.
From cracking nuts.
Thank
There you
you,
go.
Dr.
So
T.
I'm finished. Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Queen Tony. Thank you, Dr. T. I'm sorry. I forgot to mute myself. If you heard anything, just disregard, please.
That's okay.
All right. I appreciate you. And this is a very unique webinar we're having because we usually have interaction from all our uh, live viewers. And if we did not, we work on it by ourselves. And Quintoni, you could not have done anything otherwise. I know you are a real follower of Dr. T, and so are we. We started that and we have never wavered from it, and we will continue to support because it helps open our minds and it also inspires us to move forward with things that we thought we could not do otherwise. And your questions are so challenging. And the way Dr. T answers when you comment, Quintoni, is so helpful. Thank you so much. You open not just our minds, but our viewers on YouTube, not just now, but in the future, they'll say, what were they talking about? Do we resonate with this? A week later, a month later, a year later, because YouTube is not going anywhere. It's one of those platforms that never dies. It's there to stay from generation to generation. So our message would definitely will be listened in the future. Whether we're here or not, it will be there. So thank you, both of you, our queens. We appreciate you. And at this stage, I'm going to move forward. We'll say we have our brother, the one and only, who has given us this opportunity to be on this platform, Deep Dive, twice every week, every Tuesday and every Thursday, religiously, since this started. And he's going to talk to us about Computer 101 or Information Technology 101. Computer 101, for those who have no idea what the computer is, this is the right time to ask your questions. And please stay alert as we call on our one and only Dr. Derrick Clark to talk to us about Computer 101. And we appreciate you, Dr. Derrick, for all you do by giving us this opportunity to be on this platform with you. Over to you, Dr. Derrick. We are all well. Thank you for asking.
Also, those that are on YouTube, really appreciate. Thank you all very much for being here and for participating in our webinar. And so at this time, just want to just give you a little information here on computer, right? I know that some of you are a lot more advanced than what I'm going to maybe present. But I like to take things step by step, right? And so as we continue, that we will get a little bit more intense. But for those persons who may not know much, we are going step by step from the beginning, right? And so today we are going to be looking at the computer itself. All right, a computer. And what is a computer? It's an electronic device operating under the control of instructions stored in its own memory that can accept data input, process the data according to the specific rules, produce information, which is the output, and store the information for future use. Functionalities of a computer. Any digital computer carries out 5 functions. It takes data as input, store the data instructions in its memory, use them when required, process the data, and convert it into useful information. And it also generates the output controls all the above 4 steps. All right, so those are very important. All right, so there are 2 categories basically. You have the hardware, which is the physical component that makes up the part of the computer, which is the mouse, keyboard. We went through that last week. Processor, hard drive. And of course, we do have the software, which is the programs and other operating information used by a computer like Google Chrome and Microsoft Office, and actually the operating system, which we call the OS. All right. Now, with a desktop computer, because both of them is computer, desktop, laptop, both of them is classified as a computer. The laptop is just a smaller carrying, travel type of thing of computer, right? That you can travel around with. But basically, the principle, both are the same. So let us take a peek, right? Let us take a peek inside of this, what we call the tower of the desktop computer. And as I said, there's the same thing that is in the laptop. It's just that this tower is flatter, and then it has a lid with the screen, basically. But the same thing, the PSU, which is the power supply unit, you have the CD-ROM. Most laptop don't come with CD-ROM anymore, because everything now is flash drive or jump drive. Then of course you have the RAM, and you have the CPU, the RAM, which is read access memory, random access memory. Then you have the CPU, which is the control processing unit, or central processing unit. That is the processor, or mostly known as the processor. You have the video card, that is for your display and sound, right? Because the sound is hooked up to the video card. You have your hard drive, which is the storage, the fan that cool down everything, and some of them is liquid cool, but this one is fan cool. And then everything is mounted on the motherboard. Everything is attached to the motherboard. So if you want to look at it, the computer is like a kitchen. All right. So let us look at it from that kitchen perspective. So you have the processor, which is the CPU, central processing unit. That is what process everything. So that is like a chef, the person who is cooking up the food, processes the food, right? You call the first stage of it the prep, or the preparation, and then you put it in the pot to cook, right? So the processor is what takes care of everything um, that you want to accomplish on the computer, right? You have the dual core processor, which that would be two chef, so to speak, and you have the quad core processor, which that would be basically four chefs. All right. So the more core is quicker and better results. Right. Then of course you have the RAM, right, which is a little slim looking thing in your computer, right, with a lot of circuits on it, which is a random access memory, right? That would be like your countertop space. That is where all the prep work is done. So even though you might have your hard drive inside there, yes, but that is not where the work is done, right? That is more storage. So the countertop is where all the work is done. So when you open up a Word document and you start to type and or a PowerPoint document and you start to put information on your PowerPoint, well, all of that work is done on the prep area, which is your RAM, right? So you take out all the food, right? And you start to, peel your potatoes and cut it up and those kind of things. Well, all of that is done on the RAM, on the countertop, right? And then when you're ready to save it, then you store it whether in the fridge or in a cupboard, depending on what you are looking after. So the hard drive would be your cupboard and your refrigerator, where you keep things for usage or for different work. All right. Then of course you go into the software, and there's a whole lot of things are software. That is what you work with. So things like Firefox, which that is uh, uh, software that is used on the computer for internet browsing, just like your Chrome, Google Chrome, your Explorer, or those operating those browsers, right? Those are what you call software. Of course, things like Zoom, what we are on, that would be a software. All right. Um, Word document, PowerPoint, all of those things would be software. All right. You basically have the two main operating system, which it is the iOS, which is used by Apple, and then you have the Windows operating system, right, which is most persons use. It is, I believe, that Windows is a lot more friendly, user friendly, right, than Apple, really and truly. But I guess that might be debatable by some, right, but not by me. I love Windows. All right. And so the operating system is like the manager, right? It manages everything. So everything that you are working on, right? It's actually the operating system that allows you to do all of that work functioning. So whether you're working on PowerPoint or you're working on a Word document or a spreadsheet or whatever, you're just checking your email or you are checking your WhatsApp message, then the operating system is what manages everything so that you can do it, right? Then you have the applications, that is like the employees. So all of those applications, whether it's Word, whether it is your email or Gmail or AOL or whatever, your music, your Adobe um, applications, etc., etc. Those are the employees in the computer that actually does the work, right? And then, of course, you that is operating the computer is the owner, of course, the company owner. All right. So web browsers, we do have a few web browsers, right? Which is like Google, um, Mozilla, Apple, Microsoft, and Opera, right? And of course, Google would be Google Chrome. The application would be Chrome. Mozilla would be Firefox. That would be the web browser itself. Apple, right, which is a company name, would be Safari. Microsoft would be Internet Explorer, and Edge. So they have Explorer and they have Edge. And then Opera software would be Opera. All right. So those are some of the web browsers that you use, right? Remember, you would need to at least once a week, right? Especially if you are a avid user of the web browser. Please at least once a week, please to clean your web browser by going to history, and you take it from there. All right. And then you have the websites, which would be like the channels. So when you go to a website, it's like you're going to a channel on your TV. You're going to, um, whatever channel, whether it is Fox or ABC or NBC, that is like going to a website. When you go to a website, Wikipedia, etc., right? That is going to a website like you go to a channel on your TV, right? And so just to quickly show you once again how to clean your cookies and your history, right? So it will be these three little dots, right? So just to remind you that these are tabs. So this tab would be um, the inbox of my Gmail, and this tab would be a program that I'm involved in, and so this would be the address bar, and this is where you put in a website, so that you can browse a website. Then, as we said, you click on these three little dots, top right hand, and you go down to history, right? Now the history is going to populate over on the left hand side. So you click on that history over on the left hand side, where you click on these three little buttons, three little dash, three little stroke that look like a hamburger, and then it says delete browsing data, right? It comes to this page. This is basic. You need to click on advanced, right? And then it says time range. So you're going to click on all time, right? So you get everything. Okay. So this need to be checked, which is cookies, right? This need to be checked, which is your cache and cookies. You don't have to check this, and you don't have to check this. All right. But this look like a little bit too much browsing history um, so far for me, right? And this download history. All right. So I check all four of them. Okay. Now you don't want to check the password, as if you save passwords, then you will need to have your passwords there. So you don't want to check that, right? Then of course you come over here to where it says delete data, right? So you click on that, and the system will do its thing, right? So that is how you clean your cache, and it says delete Chrome data. The so it has been removed, and you want to click on get it. All right. So that is how to clean your cache and cookies, because with the cookies, the the websites that you go on, it has to download something on your computer, right? So that the the website can be shown on your computer, right? So it's not something illegal, really and truly. And now, you know, I have noticed that they ask, do you want to cookies to download on your computer? And you have to click yes or no, right? So from once it is a website that you are familiar with and you trust, then you can click yes. But at least every week, please to do that process. All right, so basically that is it. Thank you all very much for participating in this Computer Masterclass 101 Part 2. Thank you very much, and over to you, Queen Debbie McCormick.
Thank you, Dr. Derrick. We appreciate you. That was an awesome presentation. And as always, very, very educational. I hope that we enjoyed it. Everyone who is listening. And I see Queen Tony's hand is up. So this is time for questions and discussions on the presentation. And I'm going to pass it to Tony to comment. Over to you, Queen Tony.
Hey, thank you, Queen Debbie. I just wanted to say a really great presentation, Dr. Derrick. I like the way that you had broken it down and used the example of the different cooks and chefs and how it could relate to how the computer system would, operates and things. And I love to cook. So great presentation. I like that.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Pastor Tony. Appreciate.
Okay, I don't see any other hands up. Does anyone have any comment or question, observation from Dr. Derrick's presentation or Queen Tony's? Besides Dr. T, if besides Queen Tony's comment, if not, I'm going to call on Queen Dr. T to give us a final comment, a final word for today, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
Dr. Derrick,
welcome.
Dr. Derrick, thank you for that presentation. I'm not the most literate person when it comes down to computers. And again, like Tony was saying, you simplified it, and I appreciate that. I'm someone that would probably need it broken down like that. Years ago, I had a chance to take a computer class, and I probably know more than I ever thought I could know. So I'm okay with that, but I don't know as much as you know or Tony. So I really do appreciate you taking the time to start from the beginning. And you're not one of those people who just assume that everybody knows all of this. And that's very much appreciated. So I'm one of those people who would be a beginner, and I would probably be in your class if you were actually charging for it. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But do a read to just to do a final thought on my presentation. Um, this is so important that we realize that it's time for us to start really appreciating life, because I know there's so many horrific things that are going on right now. We just lost a wonderful young man. Most of you may know if you've watched The Cosby Show, Malcolm Jamal Warner, 54 years old. If anybody's familiar with that show, I was heartbroken over that. He went swimming. I don't know if he was aware of the waves where he was, but he drowned. And that's really something that's horrific. I watched this young man grow up, on TV and to become a very, very prominent movie star. Not only a movie star, but a poet, a singer, songwriter, but producer, all kind of wonderful things he did. So this goes to let you know that life is short. It really is because we don't have all the time in the world. We really don't. We don't have all the time in the world, and that's why it's so important that we think about living our best life now. My sister always tells me, enjoy your life. Do things. Get out and make things happen. Do things. Enjoy yourself. So that's what I'm saying to you all. Enjoy your life. Let's not be concerned about things that we cannot do anything about. And again, make God your captain, not the co-pilot. Let him be the pilot, like Queen Debbie was saying. Let him be the pilot. Let him be the one to maneuver and control whatever, whether it's a ship or whether it's a plane, wherever it may be in your mind. Let him control that. Let him control your life because he knows the plans that he has for you. He knows what your life should look like. All you have to do is to follow the blueprint and put your trust in him. And when we do that, we will be able to live our best life now because it is your time. Not tomorrow, but right now, your mindset be saying, right now is the time for my change. And make that declaration. Make that declaration, and begin to live your best life now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. I appreciate you. And you mentioned that young man, 54 years old. It just brings back memories during the Cosby Show
Yes.
in the 80s. And he was living his life by taking his family to see places and to have fun. And if that's what God destined for him, so be it. We'll just have to pray because none of us here right now, none of us know when our turn will come and how it will come.
That's
So
right.
let's have him and his family in our prayers and all the others that might have gone ahead of them or that went home to the Creator today without our knowledge. Let's have all of them in our memory.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. T.
Thank you.
At this point, I'll call on Dr. Derrick to give his final thoughts for his presentation. Please, Dr. Derrick, and thank you so much for being whom you are, for your for you continually empowering us with the knowledge you have, which several people think that, oh, this is not relevant. But believe me, it's very, very relevant in our lives. Unless you are a millennial who learns things, they learn at a different pace than us. So thank you for always being there for those who do not have the know-how. Over to you, Dr. Derrick, and thank you.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Debbie. Really appreciate and thank you very much, Queen Dr. T, to remind us of that television icon. You would not go to your bed. Well, no, I would not go to my bed unless I watch the Cosby Show. All right, back in the 80s, as was said, from 1984, I think it was as early as 1984, those live series ran until, of course, sometime in the 90s, early to mid 90s, thereabout, when those series was running. But not only the Cosby Show, he came in a different world, right? He came in Suits. He came in um, The Resident. I think that's a hospital type movie, not movie, series, TV shows. The Resident, right? Where he was a doctor, I think. I think he was a doctor, something like that, right? Right? It's a very, very distinguished young man, very young, because if he if he died when you said yesterday, day before yesterday, or the 20th, oh my goodness, That means he has to be a very young man. All right. And so
Because yesterday was his birthday.
oh wow. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Yesterday,
I believe so.
this is what now? July? No man, I think he was born sometime in August, man.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I think anyway. Um young man, young man, basically. Right? And it's I mean that man light up your television, my television screen. All right. Light up my television screen. He was very, especially when he got more mature in the Cosby Show. He was very, very mature, and he portrayed a lot of responsibilities, basically. Right? I really, really love and appreciate that young man. You know, very, very impressive person on the tube. All right. But anyway, unfortunately, life goes on. All right. So, oh, 54. He's 54. Okay. My goodness. Wow. Um, wow. 54. Well, ay, whew, mercy. That's, and I used to wonder when I was going to reach my 50s. Oh, mercy. Anyway, to God be the glory. All right. Malcolm, Jamal Warner, may God rest your soul in peace. Um, anyway, with with I think him did all come in Fresh Prince too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he came into Fresh Prince too. Anyway, um, computer, please do not be afraid of computers. All right. Please, if you are not already familiar with computers, please to get familiar, because computers, the only thing they can do is break down. That's the worst can happen. All right. And don't worry about it if it break down. All right. Just buy another one. Anyway, no. Just take your time, and if you are in doubt, go to YouTube. All right. If you are in doubt, go to YouTube. Just type in, right, or call me. All right, and I'll kind of direct your path. But computers are not to be afraid of anymore, because everything is now computerized. Your motor vehicle, your cell phone, your tablet, all of these things are computerized. People have refrigerators that are computerized, right? People have we call it now washing machines that are computerized. Okay, so um, you know, so don't be afraid anymore, because computer is here to stay. So take your time, yes. All right. Take your time and click around. Watch YouTube videos, right? If you type in how to get a PowerPoint, how to build a PowerPoint presentation, how to, type a Word document. Everything is there. Everything is there. It will tell you how to do paragraphs. It will tell you how to do spacing. It will tell you how to do all these different type of things. All right. And of course, as time goes on, um, we will continue, as time goes on, with a little bit of things going on in the computer world. All right. But I just thought I should start there so that people could be aware of computers and that it's not very far fetched. So thank you all very much. Really appreciate it. And over to you, Queen Debbie.
Thank you, Dr. Derrick. So, for our viewers and listeners, we know that we have to look forward to more series of computer training from you. Is that my understanding? Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. Let's continue to pray for the faithfully departed Cosby Show host or whatever. That not he wasn't the show, but a cast member. And we continue to pray for our loved ones and for ourselves because we need prayers for ourselves because we need to function on a daily basis. When we hear those things, they affect us one way or another, and we start looking at ourselves internally. So at this point, I want to take the opportunity to thank everyone who is here with us today, who has been listening from the beginning on YouTube or live, and especially our presenters and those who joined us today out of their busy schedules. We love you, we appreciate you. And to remind you that we meet on this platform every Tuesday and Thursday, and we have sister platforms beginning on Mondays with Queen Miriam Edwards with Mindset Monday, and on a daily basis during the week, we have Yvonne Duo, Yvonne Mundi, and Yvonne Finn, 1 p.m. daily. And on Sundays, we have the Dream Team. But also on Thursdays, we have deep dive here on Mondays and Thursdays, as I mentioned earlier, in the evenings. But on Thursdays morning, we have Singapore, Malaysia, Global that meets every week, Thursday mornings. So we appreciate all of you on YouTube who are here with us today. And we look forward to you joining us again on Thursday. For now, we're going to say goodbye and we'll see you again very soon. And blessings for the week. Bye for now.
Recording stopped.
Thank you so much. We're going to continue now with After Party.